Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general message. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have a 5 of Cups. Okay, this is some turbulent emotions going on right now. I think we're dealing with a situation where we're kind of disappointed in something or someone, maybe in ourselves, maybe in somebody else, maybe in any situation, right? The dominant energy right now is that something should be there, but it's not. And we're kind of dealing with how we feel about that. The 5 of Cups reminds us not to fully identify with our emotions, but to understand that there are waves that will come, wash over us, and they will retreat back, okay? If we cling to them and we hold on to these emotions, then we're kind of in a much worse situation, all right? So let's not make it worse by too closely identifying or clinging or grasping to our feelings, but let's feel it and let's let it go again, all right? We need some context around this card. I feel like you're somebody that knows how to deal with your emotions. I feel like you're sensitive, but you're strong, and you're able to deal with this situation where there is some turbulence or some disappointment going on, or that there's maybe a change of heart that's happening. Okay. Very often this card is about some emotional pain. And anytime you get pain, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical, it's basically that system's way of saying, hey, look at me. You have physical pain, right? You stub your toe on something. It's your body's way of saying, hey, look at the toe. So your heart hurts about something, and it's Spirit's way of saying, look at your heart. Okay, so let's do that. Let's use some more cards here. Look at that. Look at that Sun card. I think this is the joy and happiness coming into your life. Okay, this really, really seriously does sort of overshadow the 5 of Cups. This is a really, really bright, luminous body coming in. Here we have the Emperor. We have a 7 of Pentacles, sure makes sense, but a 9. Yeah, a 9 of Wands. And we've got a Knight of Swords. It's a Libra energy, perhaps, in your immediate future. We have an Ace of Pentacles, an 8 of Pentacles, a Knight of Wands in the fear, worry, concern, makes sense to me. And we have a decision that's going to change your future big time. Yeah, this is really good. I see that there is a disappointment because of this failure, because of something that did not work out. Again, something should have grown, something should be there, but it's not. We have the 5 of Cups, okay? But there is a clarity, there is an enlightenment, there is, oh, happy day coming. I think it's coming through the energy of a Libra person, or maybe an air sign person in your life. Someone that maybe you haven't even met yet. Okay? And I think it's bringing with it an opportunity to grow, to begin something new, and to really grow it in a very healthy way. This time it will work. This one over here we tried, didn't work. But now this one here, we try it, it works. But we've got to make that decision to go forward on this path. And this is a portal to the future. It's going to change your life forever. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. We'll tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction, your guess, your hunch down in the comments below. Now let's look around the room. Major, major. Okay, we're getting through the feelings here. We're getting our optimism. We're getting our confidence back. And we're going to take that next opportunity. We're going to be the boss. We're going to try again. We're going to grow this thing right. We're going to overcome our fear here, and we're going to change our life forever. We got fire, fire. This is fire, right? Aries energy. This is fire, right? The baptism by fire. The major life-changing decision that you're making. Okay, we've got water right here in the middle, and that's the dominant energy right now. Is this sort of painful emotion that we're dealing with? Okay, we've got air here. Okay, so this is kind of like a heart and a mind, right? The heart feels disappointed, but in the very immediate future, your mind is saying, "Let's go. I'm going to just have to reformulate the plan. I'm going to have to do things differently next time, but let's go." And of course, we have the Knight of Wands in the position of the obstacle or the fear. Because this could be impulsive. We're afraid that, look, I don't want to jump into anything again. I don't want to just be impulsive. I don't want to be hasty and I don't want to sort of leap before I look. I don't want to rush into anything and get my feelings hurt again, or to fail or stumble or fumble. I don't want to rush into anything. I need to be cautious, But at the same time, we need action. We have to trust the process, trust ourselves, trust our energy, trust our spirit, and we've got to go for it. So this is sort of the obstacle that we're facing, right? And then once we can overcome that, we're leaping right through this portal, right? That's a doorway to a brand new universe, okay? So the Sun card is the sort of us getting our confidence back, It's realizing that in that emotion of that Five of Cups, that there is something deeper, something higher. There is something more meaningful here. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but there's still hope. There's still success. We're able to see through our feelings and get to the real core of our being. The sun is always shining, and the heart and the mind, the swords, right, and the cups. This is just weather, right? This is your true self. These are the clouds that may hide its face sometimes. So we're getting into a closer alignment with our true selves, higher self, God, goddess, deity, spirit, universal mind, universal energy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, higher mind, all sorts of terms, But this is us realizing that the turbulent emotions, it's just weather. Okay, it's going to pass. The feeling I have now, it's going to be gone. My true self remains. No matter what happens, I am always here. No matter what happens, if somebody has left you or a relationship failed, a business deal failed, you got fired, something, whatever this was, you are still this radiant being. Okay, you are still this radiant being. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, let's talk about this. It's failure. Something didn't work. Recent past, something didn't work. Something got removed. You lost something, something that you tried to do didn't really pan out. Something didn't pay what you thought it was going to pay. You didn't get the return on your investment. You tried and it failed. You came up short, didn't grow. You planted a bunch of seeds, they didn't grow. That's basically it, right? Planted some seeds, we didn't get the crops. Okay. And that's what's led to our Five of Cups. So these two together, makes perfect sense, right? What we really are hoping for is the confidence. We're hoping for a Nine of Wands, the strength. This is what we're trying to invoke. This is what you're trying to bring down from above you and draw it down from spirit into your heart. Drawing down this confidence, this sense of, I can bounce back from this and I can do it. I want to get myself motivated again. Like we want to stoke the fire of our own soul and get fired up. And, I think that this is what we're trying to, so we're trying to be brave in the face of this sadness, We're trying to be strong and resilient and say, I'm going to bounce back from this. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I got to take a day or two to feel how I'm feeling. But I know that it's just weather. The storm will pass. And here I am ready to go. Okay? Because you have a sense of purpose. This card is sun and moon connected. The reason why you have this ability to draw down your strength from above and bring it into your heart is because you're connected with this sense of purpose. You know why you're doing what you're doing. You try once, it didn't work. Well, you're not giving up. No, because this is your purpose. This is your mission. So what are you going to do? You're going to take this. You're going to planted that seed. It didn't work. Well, we're going to plant it again. Okay. Now, why is the Emperor down at the bottom underneath the surface? Well, I think because this is the part of your ability to summon this confidence from above, draw it down from spirit into your heart, right? Is the realization that I can't control everything. It's almost like I can't control the weather. I can't control how I feel right now. I feel it. I'm going to let myself feel it, and I'm going to help it pass as soon as possible. I'm not going to deny my feelings, okay? This is also realizing that you cannot control whether those seeds sprouted or not. That you used your knowledge at the time, used your wisdom, you planted the seed. It didn't work. Okay. The Emperor is trying to realize that it wasn't responsible for that. Sometimes the Emperor is so confident, right? Feels so powerful that everything that happens is my doing. You know, everything that happens in the universe is because of me. Well, that's a pretty heavy weight, you know. Then when something doesn't go wrong, guess what? I feel like it's my fault. I feel like I should have done something, right? So we're trying to recognize that, hey, some stuff ain't my fault. I couldn't have prevented it. I can't do anything about it. It happened. I planted the seeds. I did what I thought was right. It didn't work. Que sera, sera. Let's summon some of that true spiritual confidence and that strength and that fortitude and that resilience. And guess what? We're going to learn something. We're going to reformulate a plan. We're going to say, okay, well, I'm not just going to be some kind of cocky, arrogant emperor and say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing again. No, we're going to learn. We're going to learn from our mistake. And we're going to formulate a new plan and say, okay, well, I need to maybe do something different. I need to try a different approach, different method. I know it doesn't work now, so that's good. Let me try again and let me keep going forward and see what we can do this time. Okay, I keep switching these around in wrong places. So the Emperor is trying to realize that we can't control everything. Not everything is within our sphere of influence. We can control ourselves, our actions. I can control how I learn. I can control my gratitude. I can try to summon my strength. I can control my behaviors. I can control my emotions to a degree. Or I can, in the sense that I can choose not to hold on to them so tightly. I can choose to let them pass. Can't control the weather. Okay? But we don't need to follow the storm around either, you know. I can choose to let the storm pass. Yeah. The Emperor, very important energy here. And that Knight of Swords in the future position, I do feel like you're going to be encountering either a Libra or a different air sign person, maybe an older male energy that's going to kind of bring some important news to you. I feel like this is a message that's coming in for you, okay? In the near future, next few days. In the next few days, I think also, as part of this air energy, you're going to get some ideas about a better way, you know, like something new you can try, or because see, the Knights are always looking at the future. And the Knight is looking at the rest of the Swords cards, looking at the Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 of Swords. What's the plan? And so I feel like in the next few days, you're going to get some good ideas about kind of a new reformulation of the plan. Okay? I feel like you're kind of tweaking your methods a little bit here. Maybe we're talking about a relationship. Maybe we're talking about a business plan or an investment or a YouTube channel or some kind of a sport or an exercise or like a creative endeavor or any kind of anything, really. It doesn't matter what it is. But you're kind of getting some new ideas about how to proceed. Okay? Some new opportunities, some new pathways you can try, some new things that might work, right? Kind of getting a little bit of a modified plan going. Now, Path of the Serpent, let's talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, by the way, please do. These readings are totally free. Now, the 9, or the, I'm looking at the 9 and I'm thinking, okay, the ace plus the 8 gives us a 9, right? So I feel like your ability to start again is an example of this strength. Okay, it's kind of like realizing that, okay, I'm going to put in the effort. Okay, if it doesn't work, that's okay. But if I put in the effort, it works. Like, you know, I have the strength to continue trying until I get this combination, right? Till I start it and it grows. I started and it's working. So the Ace of Pentacles as your general energy is saying, like, you're summoning the confidence to step out on the path again. And when we're in this kind of pain, 5 of Cups feeling because of the 7 of Pentacles failure, right? When we're feeling this sadness, taking the first step again is like the biggest problem. It's the biggest challenge, you know, starting again, taking that first step back in that relation, back in another relationship, or back to the mat, back in the ring, back at work, back in the whatever, right? To do it, to try it again. Yeah, takes a lot of courage. Takes a lot of heart. Takes a lot of confidence, a lot of tenacity, a lot of resilience. People get knocked down. A lot of people stay down. It takes heart to get up again. And this is you getting up and saying, well, you know, it sucks. I'm not going to be embarrassed by it. I'm going to try again. I will have learned a little something, something, even if it's only unconscious learning. But I'm different now because of that failure. And I'm going to try again. Okay? And this time, we get the 8 of Pentacles. Instead of the 7, now we get the 8. Instead of it not growing, falling short, not thriving, now we have growth, right? We have a steady growth. It's slow, but it's sure. Okay? And it's in the position of your relationships and or your environment. Okay? So this is you being able to see that, hey, this is going well. This relationship, it's going in a good direction. It's getting strong. We're putting down good roots. It's growing a nice sturdy trunk. It's branching out. It's bearing a lot of fruit. This is good. Okay? You're going to see that this progress is being made. Yeah. We do need patience. We do need caution. A little bit of prudence. We don't want to rush too fast. And maybe that's part of the obstacle here, is that there's part of you that wants to rush really, really fast. And part of you that's sort of nervous about going too fast. So it's kind of like this is a weird mixed bag here, the Knight of Wands, right? But this, the 8 of Pentacles is saying that if we plant the seeds at this time, we water it, we do everything right, we take it slow and cautiously, we have patience, we worry about the basics, we try to set down really sturdy roots, a good foundation, right? Kind of asking, like, if this is a relationship, what are we building our relationship on? Is this relationship stable? Does it have good roots? Does it have a nice sturdy trunk? You need the good roots and the sturdy trunk before you branch out and bear fruit, you know? And if this is a business thing, this is kind of like we're just being very slow at the beginning. We plant the seed, we're very cautious. And we're going to see that, okay, this is growing and it's getting bigger and better and stronger and more fruitful and more, you know, abundant. So it's a very good thing. We have to deal with the Knight of Wands. I think at first, the Knight of Wands, because of its impulsive, fiery energy and its relation to the 9 of Wands and the Emperor, at first this is like, I don't want to start again because I don't want to get hurt again. So it's hard for me to trust my impulse to go forward. You know, it's hard for me to get back in the saddle, so to speak, because I'm hurting, you know. Once we get going and we see that it's starting to work, we get our confidence back, then the Knight of Wands becomes the other problem. Now I just want to run so fast because I can see it. And I can see the Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Wands. And I can see how wonderful this is going to be, and I want to do it all today. I want to rush through steps 1 through 10, right, and get straight to the 10. But of course, the 8 of Pentacles is saying, let's take it slow. Let's be cautious. First we were saying, I don't even want to start, right? Now we're saying, I want to hurry up and finish. So we need to be aware of that, the shifting energies here and the shifting impulses. Yeah. And I think with the right approach here, the right regulation of our enthusiasm, we're going to go through this doorway. And this is a doorway that's going to change your life. This is a situation that's going to really, you're going to leave this old universe behind and you're creating a new one. Okay? The Seven of Pentacles is going to seem like, well, I'm very, very glad that didn't work out, because what I have now, what I'm building now, this universe I have now, is infinitely better than what this would have been. So it's kind of like you dodged a bullet here. Okay? This is a definite decision in regards to the past. This is kind of saying like, I'm completely happy that I got that Seven of Pentacles, because now I have something that's so much greater. Now this is an intentional choice. We have to choose to go through this doorway. And in some ways, this is you choosing to take this step. This is you choosing, I think, every moment to continue taking steps and see this thing through for the long haul, trying to regulate your enthusiasm so you don't run too fast, but also that you don't hesitate and go too slow. So it's like every moment is a choice to continue doing this thing. And I think it is going to lead to, just infinite abundance. I want to look at the mystery card. So let's see what it's leading to, right? Let's see what's on the other side of this. For now, we have our sort of long-term outcome here is the opportunity to build a whole new life, a whole new reality for yourself, okay? Whether this is love and romance, family, if this is your fortunes, if this is your career, your vocation, your creative endeavors, whatever it might be. Okay. The mystery card. Well, I'd like to see a 9 or a 10 of cups. I want to see some good joy, some good happiness, some good love here. If you have a prediction, Pisces, put it in the comments down below. Let's see. What we have is the devil energy. Interesting. The devil is your creative drive, right? The devil's a couple things. The devil is this idea that it's the tempter, right? So as we move into the future here, you're going to be tempted by a lot of things. One, you're going to be tempted to run too fast going forward, right? But then I think we're going to be tempted to perhaps maybe in this idea of going too slow or being too cautious, right? We're going to be tempted to do things that might seem much more exciting. Yeah. That there are going to be elements, especially if we're trying to create something long-term. This is kind of saying like long-term future, this is a commitment, this is a choice, this is going to completely change your life, right? It's a long-term commitment, which means it takes place over a long period of time. The devil's going to come in and try to entice you to stray from your path and go do something that's maybe like more exciting or whatever, to have more immediate gratification. Okay. But the flip side of this card is your driving force. This is your tenacity, your endurance. I think you're somebody that can commit to something long term and see it through. You don't need always that just, I want pleasure right now, I want to avoid pain right now, You have the ability to commit to something and see it through for a long period of time. You have that kind of commitment in you, yeah. Even though there will be temptations. You're starting your own business. This is a long-term career move. Well, you might be tempted by these get-rich-quick schemes or these other jobs that say, hey, it's more fun over here, and you're trying to say, nope, I'm sticking to this path. I'm in this relationship for the long haul. Like this is a long-term relationship for you. Whether it's with a person, a place, a thing, an idea, a job, career, creativity, whatever. Because you know that the most lasting changes are slow and steady and take place over the course of time. Something that happens too quickly, it's too fleeting, it's not stable. right? So you're keeping yourself committed to the path of creating this new universe. This is the ultimate, creative card. And so I think that this is a really positive energy for you right now, because it is showing that we're binding ourselves to this new path. We're committing ourselves to this, and we're saying, this is it. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, we're in it for the long term. I like that. Let's do an extended reading. We're going to do an I Ching reading. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link up top and there's a link down below. New readings for Pisces on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.